Okay, y'all, working the hard body training. We in the hard body zone. And I'd like to welcome the big OG to the channel. OG, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, this is OG Silverback, man, and it's a pleasure to be here with my dude hardbody, man. How you doing, bro?
Chilling, chilling. Yeah, man. It's been a long day. I was hanging out with my father earlier. We was did a cooking video with him that's actually gonna premiere later at 10 p.m.
Nice.
Yeah. So, you know, um, I've been following you for months now, so I know all about yourself. If you don't mind, let my people know a little bit about yourself. Let them know what to expect on your channel.
Well, basically, my channel has four aspects, hardbody. I cover, of course, prison. I've been to prison, so I cover a portion about prison to hopefully prevent guys from making the same mistake going to prison like I did. And then for the knuckleheads out there who are going to go to prison anyway, I try to prepare them for it. The second aspect of my channel is I'm really heavily into martial arts, hard body. That's what kept me safe while I was in prison, and then growing up in the streets back east kept me safe. So I have a portion for that. My third portion is I go into actually like personal development, just how to be a better man and better person, financial stuff. And the last portion, of course, is just working out in general, just to have a healthy body, because if you have a healthy body, you have a healthy mind. And I think that's how I got turned on to your channel, man. I saw one of your comments on one of my workout videos, so I went and checked you out. And I like what you're doing over there, man. So I'm pleased to interview with you.
All right, appreciate it. What one of my sayings is that we all gonna get older, but we don't have to turn old. That makes sense to you, right? So
Yeah, yeah, I
if you
like that.
if you stay active, you keep a young state of mind and a young body till you die. You don't got to get old.
Yeah, and also to add to that, hard body, a lot of reason that a lot of people age very quickly is because if you don't use it, you lose it, and that's how you get arthritis from inactivity. You know what I mean? So that's why I like to stay active, my friend.
Yeah, like I noticed that when I had a back injury for 4 years, a weight injury, weight training injury, and the longer I rest, my back would stay stiff. And only when I got mobile again, the pain went away.
Exactly, exactly.
So mobility is very important. So if you don't mind telling the people, I got my first question for you is which sport did you play growing up?
Well, it's funny because we moved to this country from Puerto Rico, and as you know, man, in that part of the world, Puerto Ricans are into baseball and boxing. Like that's the two sports.
Yeah.
No, because let's be honest, when you come to America, a lot of African American dudes play basketball. I mean, Puerto Ricans play basketball, but the brothers get it in, right? A lot of white
Mm-hmm.
dudes like to play American football and baseball, right? You know what I mean? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of Mexican dudes like to play soccer, but when you go to Puerto Rico, man, we be getting into boxing and the baseball, man. So that was our ticket to get out of poverty. So when we moved to America, of course, I boxed and I played baseball, played basketball, football. I played every sport I could because back east they had this thing called the community center. And when you're on welfare, you don't have no food. You know what I mean? Like you just, eating the welfare cheese and the beans and stuff. So if you go to the community center, they had snacks, dude. They had an after school program. So we go there and play sports just so we can get something to eat. So I played every sport growing up, my friend.
Yeah, the Boys and Girls Club. That's what they call it.
Yeah,
The community
the
center.
boys,
Yeah.
the Boys and Girls Club. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah. You probably
Yeah,
went to the same one I went to.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
just because I grew up in Harlem, and I'm also an immigrant. Came over here from Dominican Republic and had to acclimate to the brothers. Me speaking another language, and even and to be like, I only knew how to speak Spanish, and then
Right.
the Spanish kids wouldn't even speak Spanish to me because I guess they were embarrassed. So I was pretty much a loner. But then the bros accepted me, and so everybody has different relationships with different races. But I pretty much get along with everyone. And my first sport that I played was American football.
Okay.
So because I was the first elementary school, that's what they played, and then which I was good at. Then I played baseball, and then I finally got to basketball, which is the love of my life.
Right on, man. Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
There you go. That's good
yeah,
though, but you got an athletic background. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think that's very important for young kids to grow up when hard body to play sports. And I'm going to tell you why, man. I see a lot of young kids, and my kids, I got divorced. I don't wish that on anybody, but my kids were with their mom. And when they would come to visit me, I noticed they always playing like PlayStation and video games and this and that. And when I was a kid, we grew up outside playing sports. And I think it's very important for 3 reasons. Number one, dude, it helps your body to develop. When you're playing sports, you breathe deeper, use your body, use oxygen. It's good for your health, right? Number 2, man, it teaches you how to get along with people, man. And number 3, the most important point, it gives you confidence. It lets you know that if you work hard, it's going to pay off. Because when I played basketball like you, first I was a bench warmer. I would sit on the bench. You know what I mean? Because I had to get my dribbling down behind the back, layups and all that. But then as I kept practicing and playing ball, I got better. So sports teaches you to believe in yourself.
That's what I'm teaching my son right now. Like when he misses a shot and he gets all frustrated, I say everybody misses. That's part of the game, And the little kids nowadays, they go to the park with the tablets.
Yeah.
And that's bad parenting, man. I tell my kids, you ain't bringing no tablet to the park, and leave that at home.
Exactly. Like you said, it comes down to the parents' hard body. Like the parents let the kids run the household, man. That's why I'm happy that you and I are Hispanic, because we learned early on the father runs the household, man. The father is the leader. You don't let the kid be the leader. That's like letting the blind lead the blind. You know what I mean? The kid gonna tell you what to do.
And here in America, they got something against men. They don't want us in the household,
Okay, right on.
So a lot of the stuff that you say on your channel, I'm 100% on board.
Okay.
Team Alpha over here. I just want to let you know.
Right on. So, appreciate that. Yeah.
All right. So, but briefly, tell us about your childhood and how it was growing up. If you're 2-parent home or not, tell us about your childhood a little bit.
Well, initially when I moved here from Puerto Rico, I had both my parents, my dad and my mom. And like you were saying, dude, my first language was Spanish, and nobody was speaking Spanish back then. Like I came in the 60s. So imagine your experience. Imagine in the 60s how it was. So nobody's speaking Spanish. Even the Spanish people didn't want to speak Spanish because back then you had to speak English to get a job, right? So my dad had a problem because he had a language barrier. He had a problem. He's working janitor job, dishwasher jobs, whatever. He got frustrated, a lot of kids. Him and his brothers robbed a bank. So my dad went to prison when I was 7. We moved here when I was 5. He went to prison at 7. So then you got my single mom, dude. We on welfare in the hood. It was just a rough life. And I didn't have the kind of life you had. Like when I got there, man, it was just in the 60s. They had this thing called the Black Power movement, like power to the people. Black is beautiful. So anything that wasn't really dark-skinned black, they looked down upon you like maybe you were mixed or mestizo. You mixed with the white people, and they thought the white man was the devil. So I grew up getting in a lot of fights with dark-skinned dudes, man, just because I was light-skinned. You know what I mean? And so that's how I got into martial arts. So my childhood, man, we moved around from we first came to New York, and then we moved to Detroit, and then we moved to Chicago, and then we moved to Philly, and then we landed in Pittsburgh. So I moved around a lot as a kid, different hoods. All the hoods look the same. It kills me because when you go to Philly, man, or you go to Chicago and Detroit, see, everybody want to compare to New York. Everybody want to compare to New York. And they be like, and I tell them, I was like, hey, all the hoods is the same, but in New York, man, it's on a whole nother level. It's on a whole nother level, the poverty, dude, and just the whole crime thing. They didn't want to hear that, but I'm just saying I moved around, so I was always the new kid, man. So I had a rough childhood, my friend, but it made me a strong person.
All right. Me growing up in the 80s, I got expelled from a lot of different elementary schools because I guess that they were doing that especially to immigrant kids. So I'll get into a fight and I get expelled. So I went to like 3-4 different elementary schools. And like I left a comment on your channel that I was always the third biggest kid in the classroom. So I pretty much didn't get bullied. But when I had one experience, because the class bully, he was bigger than everybody, right? And then the second biggest kid, he got bullied. He made him cry and everything. And he finally got to me, the third biggest kid. And this guy's like twice my size, twice my weight. And he was going like this to me in the classroom. And like, I'm gonna fight you at 3. And I'm nervous, but I ain't let him know because my dad always told me if you run away from a fight, I'm gonna kick your ass. So I'm more afraid. I'm more afraid of my dad than any little kid out there, right? So
Right.
so when they finally hit 3 p.m. in my mind, I was like, I'm gonna run away, I'm gonna run away. And finally I turned around, like, what's up? What's up? And he shook my hand.
Oh,
So
for
that
real?
was like, yeah, he shook my hand because I stood up to him. He wasn't,
Okay.
he made
Yeah.
he made all the boys cry, all of them. Like he made them cry that he punked them. And when he got
Yeah.
to
Through
me,
intimidation. Through
yeah,
intimidation.
but it didn't work on me because my dad, you know how Latino fathers are.
Oh, I know, man. I
And,
know.
and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
let me give you another one. So when my parents divorced, I went to move with my dad. So I'm in my dad's neighborhood now on the west side of Manhattan. So the very first day, I'm outside walking, and this kid runs over my Asics sneakers. You know the Asics back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I say to him, yo, you can say excuse me. And he's like, don't cheap shits. He cursed me out, right? So I go upstairs. I tell my dad, like, yo, some kid wanted to fight me, blah, blah, blah. My dad grabbed my hand, took me outside, and the kid happened to be sitting down because he was riding a bike. And my dad was like, yo, you want to fight my son?
Wow.
My dad was gonna put me to fight on the spot, you know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 Right.
So that's
That's funny. That's funny.
yeah, yeah, man. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, but that
And
instilled in you never run away from a fight.
yeah, you don't run away from a fight in my hard body's household, you know?
Nah, man, don't happen, man.
Yeah, so another quick question I got for you is there any specific workouts that you would recommend, like one of your number one routines to recommend to the people out there?
Okay, so that's a difficult question, man, because I like the workouts you're doing. You do a lot of body weight workouts, calisthenics. I think that's very important. But like over in my channel, I got a thing called a Patreon, right? And so a lot of dudes that want to like deeper videos or they want to know what I really think, they go over to my Patreon. That's what I tell the dudes, man. And it's okay if we disagree, but I believe that if you're going to work out, it should be sports specific. Like first, you got to be an athlete. Then you're working out in whatever your sport is to make you better. But I
Mm-hmm.
think working out just to work out, I think that's good. But I tell everybody to come over to my channel. No, number one thing, you got to find a sport that you're going to play. And then you do the workouts that's going to enhance that sport because it's going to teach you, like, oh, you're competing against other men. And the only thing that's going to separate you from the other man is how much practice you put in and how much effort you put in. So now you get some older guys that call me. They're like, "Hey, man, I'm too old to play a sport, or I don't, I don't have time to play a sport." Whatever. I tell them like this: then, dude, you should get into cage fighting, my friend, because this is my belief, hard body, and I respect what you're doing. I like what you're doing. That's why I'm on your channel. But I tell everybody this: if you all you do is work out, and you can be in shape, and you can be swole, and you can be strong, but if you don't know how to fight, my friend, and you run up across a dude that knows how to fight, my friend, I don't care how much in shape you are, how much muscle you got, whatever. So I think there should be a balance between working out and self-defense. I think the two should go together. So to answer your question, I believe that if a dude works out, it should be specific to a sport, athletic event, or martial arts.
All right. Well, me, I work out because I want to take souls on the basketball court. So I train my,
Right.
I
So,
train my core. You know, I focus on
yeah.
core exercise.
But see, first and foremost, you're an athlete. Your love is basketball. So you see what you just said? You work out to enhance your basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch that? So all I'm
Yeah.
saying is this. I know a lot of cats, man, that just work out just to work out. And I ask them, why are you working out? Oh, I want to get the highness, or I want to have big muscles, or I want to feel confident, or whatever. I want to be healthy. I say, so what you going to do when the dude breaks in your house? You going to curl him? Or are you going to squat him? You don't know. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
even though working out is good, I think it's got to be a purpose behind. So I like what you're saying. You work out to enhance your basketball. Like it motivates you to go harder. And the reason I bring this up, hard body, because a lot of dudes that work out for no reason, you become a legend in your own mind. And I'm going to say this about my dad. I respect my dad. I respect my dad. But when my dad sent me down to the Boys and Girls Club to learn martial arts, he would make me come home and I had to teach my dad and my brothers what I learned in the dojo, it's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my dad would never set foot in the dojo because my dad was like, no, I'm not going to have another man teaching me what to do. And I was like, that don't make sense, Pops. You sending me down there and then you won't want to go. So he believed in his own mind. He's the most awesome martial artist in the world. And I'm telling him, hey, Dad, I got respect for you. but you're not.
Yeah.
You're not, because until you compete against other men, like when you play on the basketball court, right? You know where your game is, right? You know.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just play basketball by yourself all day, you could be telling yourself, "Oh man, I'm the Dominican Republican Michael Jordan." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm the Dr. LeBron James. You know?
yeah, yeah. Well, you know, me, I totally agree with you with the fighting thing. Like, you know, me being an inner city kid, I've been in tons of street fights, but I never fought another male who actually has skills. So I never, like, you know, no skills. So I never really been tested.
That's
So
all I'm saying.
yeah, so I understand what you're saying. Like, my girlfriend asks me every now and then, like, why am I teaching my 6-year-old son how to fight, how to defend himself? And I told her, like, he's a boy. He needs to. That's very important for males because he's going to be a protector in the household when I'm not here.
Right.
So, and then, you know, now that we have access to the internet, there's some real savages out there. Like, you know, when you go on YouTube, I seen guys bite another guy's nose off or bite somebody's lip off. So, like I was saying, I from experience, like teenagers when they in the confrontation, they start bumping chest to chest. Like, you know, you're not gonna get that close to me. Once you intimidate me or threaten me, I'm gonna take a step back and draw a line in the sand. And if you cross it, it's on.
Right.
Because you're not gonna bite my nose off or headbutt me. You know.
Right. Right. Right, right. Hey, but to
So
add to that, hard body, to add to that, I think it's very important what you said. You never been tested, and here's why. Because you growing up in Harlem, you're in your hood, and you're a street dude, so you know the importance of having fighting skills. But a lot of dudes in the ghetto, man, they thinking that strength is going to be the great equator in the fight. But here's the problem, my friend. So once you become 16, 17, or 18, whatever age you move outside of your parents' house, right? And let's say you want to go to college or you want to get a job. Now we have a global economy. So even though you might be from Harlem, you might get a job in Harlem, but then they go, hey, there's an opportunity for you to become a manager at whatever your job is, but you got to move to Cincinnati. You know what I mean? And a lot of people who are about their careers, they move. Here's the problem. Yeah, in your hood, you ain't never been tested because dudes ain't got skills. But when you start going, when you're a grown man, 18 or above, you move into different cities, different hoods, different environments. There's different types of dudes, man, different kind of cats. Some guys got military training. Some guys been in and out of prison. You know for a fact, you from New York, you know some of your homies been in and out of YA since we was kids, man. They've been in and out of Rikers Island. You just was smart enough to know not to do crime, but you got some homies that been in and out of the pen. And so you got dudes with military training, you got dudes with prison training, and like you said, they fight dirty. So then if you don't practice your own level of self-defense, you run into a dude whose whole motive is just, he going to run up to you and bite your nose off. Or he going to bite your, you know what I'm trying to say? He going to bite your lips off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I tell my dad to this day that the best skill he taught me was how to select associates and friends. So, because that's very important. If not, I would have been in jail or dead if my dad didn't. Because all my childhood friends got locked up or they dead, and some of them made it out the projects, you know. But it's only a handful of them, you know.
Yeah,
I
and
never
that's
been
why.
to.
Go ahead. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I never been to prison, but I've been locked up.
Right.
I could give you my little small sample of when I stood. So I was like locked up at Central Booking. You know, the judge didn't let me go. So I was in the pod because it's county or whatever, and regular jail. So I was in there only for like 4 or 5 days. And this is when I was like hard body, 25 years old. So it's like 2005. And the guys is all sitting down watching Pokemon on the TV. So I got up, you know what I mean? I got up right in front of the TV and I said, who the heck is watching this bullshit? And then this tall black guy stood up on me. Dude was like 6'9", but he was skinny. And I was like, oh shit. But I knew that I was only in there for like, I was going to get out the next day or whatever. So I ain't fight him. But if I was going to be there, I would establish myself. You get what I'm trying to say? Like I'm an alpha alone. And another thing to add to that, I was talking to the Dominicans, the Latinos, right? Because I've never been in prison. So I was talking to a bunch of Spanish guys and I got up. Then I went and started talking to the black guys and the Spanish dudes. I look back and they jaw dropped. And
Yeah.
I had no idea about prison politics and how they separate the races. I learned all that from watching your channel, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that was my little one incident when I was locked up in New York City.
Yeah, but I'm glad you brought that up. Let me share this with you though, because I think you can appreciate this better than anybody else. So, my dad is Puerto Rican and Spanish. Like my grandfather's from Spain, my grandmother's from Puerto Rico, right? But my mother is West Indian, dude. You know the difference. You know the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
So when I go to the pen, Holmes, well, how can I say, oh, I'm Latino, or how can I say I'm black? You know, they got a phrase now. A lot of people don't know about this, but it's called Afro Latino. So I'm not going to ride with the Spanish dudes. I'm not going to ride with the black dudes. What I look like disrespecting my parents, I ride by myself. So I wanted to bring that up because, like you said, the Spanish dudes is like it when you talk to the black dudes because it's a prison thing. Mm-hmm. So I want you to feel that. No, I want you to feel that in your corazon, Hermano. I want you to feel that right now. I went to the pen. I'm not going to have somebody tell me, oh, you got to ride with this people. You got to ride with that people. Because my mom's West Indian. And my dad's Puerto Rican. I'm gonna do what I want to do, Holmes, and that's why I got a channel, and that's why I get a lot of haters. Because most people, when they go to prison, my friend, you got to ride with somebody. I didn't have a choice because I'm mixed. I'm not gonna have somebody make me choose.
Yeah. Like me, like I'm Afro Latino. I use that phrase, you know. I'm a black poppy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna pick a side either. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So. You mentioned some kids earlier. So, like, how many kids do you have altogether?
Well, I got 7 that I know of, and the reason I say that is because just a couple of years ago, I had a person find me on the internet, and they told me I was their dad, and we had to do a DNA test. I found out that I'm their dad because now on the internet they got this thing called Ancestry.com, and you send in like a DNA sample. And anybody that matches that, man, they connect you with that. So I got 7 kids that I know of. I got to tell you, I haven't been the best father because when I was in the military, I was doing a lot of military stuff, and then I went to prison, so I was gone from that. You know what I mean? And so then when I get out, my kids are all, you know, they're all like grown. My last kid just graduated from high school and left, so now I'm working on just being a good grandparent, man.
All right. Well, I got 5 children with 3 different women.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about, my friend.
Yeah. I had one. I had my firstborn. Her mother kept her away from me for 12 years, and I found her. I had to go on the internet to find her, and that's how I found her. So yeah, man, I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah. But so I think parenting is the best job ever. I think I'm really proud of like what you're doing, hardbody. You got your merchandise. You telling people positive things. You know, you're staying out of trouble. But I think, man, at the end of the day, you know, you want to be there for your kids. You want to be a positive role model for your kids. You want to show them, like your dad showed you the right associations. You want to teach your kids because everybody sends their kids to school thinking it's the teacher's job to teach your kids how to be. No, it's the teacher's job to teach your kids how to get along in society, the matrix that they made. But it's your job, my friend, and my job to inculcate in your children the morals and beliefs and the positive type of associations you want them to have so they can grow up to be positive, you know, members of society and not living in the hood or going to prison.
Yeah. Having that gangster mentality that we were all sold is a bunch of BS, you know?
Yeah, it's a lie.
Yeah, that rap music is trash, man. A lot of people.
It's a lie, man.
It's a psyop. It's a psyop.
Yeah, that's what I always say. It's a psyop. Right on. Yeah.
It is, man. It is. When you smart, you have some intelligence. You wake up from that matrix, you know. But you got dudes 40 years old, 50 years old, still gangbanging, thinking they hard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's very interesting. You and I use a lot of the same words, you know, like the psyop and the psych out and the matrix, because when you get older, you start really looking at life. You see it for what it is, that they trying to fool people, man.
Yeah. So, so what made you start the YouTube channel? Like, what made you start doing the YouTube?
Well, honestly, when I was in prison, dude, like I said, I was a loner. I stayed by myself. But there was a dude in prison. His name was Cali Muscle, man. He was a shot caller for the Oakland car, right? Because when you're in California, they got Northern California, Central, and Southern, and they divide it like that. So the Northern dudes, I'm not gonna say they don't gangbang as hard as the Southern dudes. I'm just saying it's a different thing. It's more like what city you from or what neighborhood you from. Whereas down when you go down south, it's Crips and Bloods, Serenos, Norteños. So when you get in the pen, the Northern dudes kind of band together. And I don't want to call it a gang, but they got like a car. You know what I mean? So Cali Muscle was in charge of the car, and this dude was doing he reminded me of you. He's doing all kind of body weight exercise, muscle ups, body flag poles. Just, he was a beast with the body weight stuff. And he was always talking about he was going to be famous and everything. I didn't really know him. I just see him on the yard because I'm not a shot caller. And so when he gets out of prison, he starts a YouTube channel, right? So I had just got out of prison before him. And I didn't know nothing about YouTube until my brother goes, hey, there's this dude named Cali Muscle, and he got out of prison. He got a YouTube channel. So I looked at what Cali Muscle was doing. And for those of your viewers that don't know me or even you, if you go to my original YouTube, I was doing like a lot of exercise and a lot of martial arts because I wanted to be like my own version of Cali Muscle, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's the reason I got on YouTube, because I was like, oh, if this dude can get out of prison and he can make a YouTube channel, now he's a multimillionaire. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do that too. You know what I mean? So that's why I got on YouTube, man.
All right. What made me start YouTube was that I got on the internet because I'm from the era where on Saturday evening or Saturday morning when they give NBA basketball, I'll go outside and practice. I'm not gonna stay and watch Carmelo Anthony play. So I'll go outside and play myself. So I finally got on the internet and I started seeing YouTubers who are like blessed with jumping ability and they doing fancy dunks and all that. So I said, but man, I could do that. I could jump high. So that's what made me start a YouTube channel to record my basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then I went, but I wasn't getting the subscribers. Like I had 35 subscribers for like years. Because every time I was telling you, I was taking souls out there. So the guys wouldn't subscribe to me because I'm dominating them. Then I'm asking them, hey, follow me on YouTube. And they weren't subscribing.
They ain't trying to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because men are jealous at the end of the day. Men have jealousy
right.
tendency. So just 8 months ago, I transitioned to a fitness and now I'm at 300 and change. So
okay.
And then also I wanted to like my dad, he only has one video of my grandmother alive, and it's on a CD. So I wanted to document my family, like record my dad on YouTube, get my mother on YouTube. So when they gone, I have videos of them, and my kids could watch them, and then when I'm gone, they could watch me. So basically, to get the family in digital, for we be here forever,
Yeah, no, that's very smart. You're gonna have them in the cloud, but I wanna piggyback on something you said. So when I first got on the YouTube, I had been out of prison a couple of the years before Cali Muscle. So when I first got out of prison, I was jacked and swole and all that because all you do in prison is work out and fight and stuff. That's all you do, man. And so, man, I was jacked and swole. But then when the reality hit, I was homeless, dude. My family left me, so I'm eating homeless food. I'm sleeping on the ground, in tent city and stuff. I'm working day labor, just so I don't get to work out. So my body kind of went to crap, right? So then when I started my YouTube channel, I was talking about fitness and martial arts, right? But then dudes was coming on YouTube talking about, oh man, you fat, man, you don't know nothing and you this and that. And I would lose my temper a lot, you know what I mean? Because I got a hot Latino temper. So I was losing my temper and they shut my YouTube channel down 3 times, you know what I mean? So then I was just thinking about it. And so then what I did was I listened to this dude named Black Ram, and he used to talk about, the dating environment, how, women are now the men and the men are now the women. So I started doing those videos, but I wouldn't even show my face. I would just put a picture of a hot lady up and not just do the audio. So then my subscriber count started going up. It started going up. Because first I was on the internet, I was on YouTube for a couple of years. And like you said, I had about, 10 subscribers, man, because dudes dudes always want to believe they don't need martial arts, or they don't want to believe I know martial arts, they don't whatever. They weren't subscribing because I don't have a big name. But then when I switched to how to pick up women and how to know which women are bad for you ever, then my subscriber count, I think I reached like 1,000, right? So then, just so you know, I'm an IT dude. I do information technology. That's what I did when I got out of prison. I was working at this place called the Pebble Beach Concourse, where all these millionaires come in from all over the world with their $1 million cars, their hot Model Ys, whatever. And when they do their electronic transfer, it's got to be secure. So I was on network security. So I saw this big, swole, dark-skinned black dude, man. He had on a pink, this is called a polo shirt. He had on a pink polo shirt. You know how in New York they wear them cool hats, man. You know everybody in New York wear them cool hats. He had on one of them cool hats, man. And he had some nice slacks in the Rolex. And so I told my coworker who didn't know I've been to prison, I said, hey, who that dude play for? Because he looked like a professional football player, right? He said, I don't know, let's go down there. So dude was vlogging, right? So when the dude got done vlogging, I said, hey, my man, who you play for? He said, I'm Big Herc, man. I said, okay. He said, I got a YouTube channel. You know, I help people that get out of prison, you know what I'm saying? And I help them be positive things. So I was like, my coworker don't know I've been to prison. So I was, oh, that's interesting. Let me get your business card. So then dude gave me a business card. So then when I got home, I hit Big Herc up. I was like, hey, I've been to the prison too, man. And I can tell people how to go from being a prison dude to being an IT dude, and be a businessman. He's like, yeah. So I came down to LA and I interviewed with him. And then my channel, dude, let me tell you something. Hey, hardbody, this is a true story. My channel went from 1,000 subscribers, bro, to like 6,000 overnight. Just bam, just like hit it. Because everybody went from Big's church channel to mine. So then that's when I switched it. I switched it to start talking about prison stuff because that's very popular. Then dudes want to start listening to my martial arts because they're like, oh, this dude, he been to prison and he was a loner. No, I'm a other, and I was a loner. And they're like, oh, so this dude can fight. So they listen to my martial arts, and then they're like, oh, this dude come out of prison and he got a lot of women. So now we want to listen to him. So now Big Herc legitimized me. Yeah. he launched me.
You know what's funny? The first time I saw you was on Big Herc. I saw that interview you did on Big Herc. That was the first time I saw you.
That's what I'm saying. So many people.
And I went to your channel, and you was like around there, 4,000, 5,000. I seen your channel grow from 5 to 8 to 10.
Yeah.
So I've been riding with you for the longest now.
No, I appreciate that because I see you always have positive comments, man. And then the reason I checked your channel out because you was telling me the stories like, hey, I'm Afro-Latino like you, but I didn't have sickle cell anemia and I wasn't bullied. But I got some stories too, and this and that. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay. So then I started following you, dude. Then I like what you was doing. That's why I reached out to you because I believe in fitness, bro. I believe in working out. That's the key. I believe in sports. So all the stuff you're doing, I believe in it. I just got a different experience from you because I went to the pen, Holmes. I went to prison. You know what I mean? And that just changed my whole outlook on this country, on this life, on the hood, on all of it, man. And I don't wish prison on nobody. You know what I'm saying? But what I try to tell guys is because I've been to prison, now I get to see with open eyes. Now I'm woke. I get to see what's really going on, and I try to help the young guys who's buying into that rap narrative, the fucking BET, MTV, all that lying bullshit, bro.
Yeah, that gangster bullshit, yeah.
Yeah, man, come on, man. Hey, the real gangsters, man, is the politicians and the police, dude, and the lawyers. Them is the real gangsters, my friend.
Yeah, I agree. So, to wrap it up soon, you got any future events and plans on your channel that you want to talk about? Like anything?
Man, so like I was talking to you about offline, man, I'm relocating to Los Angeles, bro. I finally got a house because, and I don't wish this on anybody. When I got divorced, bro, in California, my wife took me to the cleaners. She got my house, my car, my kids, got me fired, bro. I was just bad for 10 years. Now I'm on my feet, Holmes. I'm back on my feet, dog. My credit score is high. I got mucho dinero. Life is good. So now I'm moving to LA. I got a house, bro. And I'm just going to be streaming martial arts videos, bro, workout videos, bro. I'm going to be bringing hot women in there, having them on the camera, talking to the guys, man. Yeah. And I'm just going to be doing a lot of really cool. Because when you got a house, bro, you got a lot more latitude to like set up a studio and leave it set up. You know what I mean? And you got a lot more latitude, like to set up a gym. Like, you know what I mean? And set up a gym that's just a gym. You ain't got to be taking stuff down, putting it back up. So I'm really excited, bro. A lot of cool stuff coming up, man, in that, man.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the new stuff.
Yeah, man.
Like you see me, I'm in the basement. The basement is my dojo,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So just to let my viewers know that I plan to fight somebody in June on the channel, just
Nice.
to test out my skills, you know, because I feel that I could do well protecting myself if the guy comes at me or whatever from my experience in street fights. So I just want to see, you know, see where my skills is at. And I got the idea from watching you and talking about how important it is to know how to fight. You know, like see, like that guy Nate Robinson, the basketball player, you could tell he don't like he never been in a fight the way he was punching. Like he don't even know how to throw a punch.
Right.
So that I'm not gonna look like I'm not gonna look as stupid though. You know what I'm saying? So that's stupid for you non-English Spanish speakers. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm doing, you know, I'm doing it for the culture, man. You know, us man, we got to be tough, and that's what it's about. We protect the family. We the head of the household, like you said.
Yeah, hey, but whenever you had that fight, let me know ahead of time. I mean, you gonna live stream it or you go? I
Yeah,
mean, how you gonna do it?
I'm gonna try to get a big YouTuber to live stream it. So
Oh,
I'm yeah, like somebody.
like street beefs or somebody?
Nah, not they, because they. I don't think they're not in New York. I'm gonna get like a New Yorker where they got like over 50,000 subscribers. Because you know, in New York, the calisthenic community is small. We all know each other. I'm in Brooklyn, so I know all the famous guys. I know them. They know me. So
Nice.
I'm gonna reach out to them, and then I'm gonna make it like where only in the summertime where I fight 1 or 2, 3 times in the summer. So I plan to have more than one fight. Or I'm gonna start off with one, see how that goes. So that's the new thing I got, and then I discovered Drew Danger, who I'm gonna interview soon because
Yeah.
he's almost done with my action figure. So I'm gonna unveil
Nice.
that. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
unveil that.
I got one from Drew Danger, and I got the idea. Me and Drew, we went down to L.A. He interviewed on Big Show Herc's show,
Yeah, I
and
saw
then
that.
Big Herc was like, oh man, I want an action figure because Drew used to do stuff for Hollywood. He used to do action figures for the movies, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Big Herc was like, oh, I want an action figure. So you know me, I was like, well, shoot, I want one too, man. And then Big
Yeah,
Herc was like, well, let him do mine first. And I was like, that's cool, but I want mine second, right? So he's
yeah.
a good dude. But hey, when you do the fight, man, let me know, man. I'm because I'm gonna support you and watch it. But also, man, I wanted to interview you on my channel, man, because I think you got some good stuff to talk to dudes about, you know, working out, sports, and fighting and stuff, and then also being a family man. And that goes with, you know, some of the genre I'm talking about. So maybe offline, we, you know, if you're comfortable, man, we can talk about like getting you an interview on my channel, big man.
Sure. You know I'm with it. You know, and I appreciate you coming and letting my subscribers meet you and talking about yourself and all that. So I
Definitely, man. I
appreciate.
always support people doing positivo, man, in the mundo. You know, it's importante.
Mm-hmm. So you know that being said, Big OG, I'm gonna let you go. If you don't
All
mind,
right.
do your intro for my people, man. The gorilla growl for them. Let them go with that.
Man, gather round. OG Silverback here. And today we talking about glory and victory. Yeah.
Let's go, Hawk. Let's go, OG. I'm gonna let you go, man. Have a good night.
All right.
All
Take
right.
care of yourself, my friend.
All right. Peace.
All right.